This video is about idioms. Let me start by asking you something very honest. Have you ever heard a native speaker say something like, "Don't beat around the bush," or "That exam was a piece of cake"? And in your head, you're thinking, "Wait, why is someone beating a bush? Where is the cake?" That confusion right there is your first introduction to idioms. These idioms are one of those things that make English sound natural, confident, and fluent, but at the same time, they confuse learners the most. So today, we are not just learning idioms, we are going to understand how they work, why they exist, and how to actually use them without sounding forced or fake. Now let's slow down and talk about what an idiom really is in a big, meaningful way. That means you cannot understand an idiom by translating it word by word. The real meaning of an idiom comes from common usage, culture, and shared understanding, not from grammar rules. So, idioms are like shortcuts for emotions, situations, and experiences. Instead of explaining a long situation, one idiom can instantly communicate the feeling. For example, when someone says, "I was over the moon," they are not floating in space, they are simply saying they were extremely happy. And that's the magic of idioms. They pack emotion, attitude, and meaning into one small expression. Let me give you a few solid real life examples so this becomes crystal clear. If I say, "After weeks of preparation, the interview was a piece of cake," the meaning is that the interview was very easy, not the food was involved. Got it? So if someone says he spilled the beans about the surprise party, it means he revealed a secret, not that beans fell on the floor. Okay? If I say she has a lot on her plate right now, it means she's very busy or under pressure, not that she's eating too much. Now, you should have an important question now. When should you actually use idioms? Idioms are best used in spoken English, informal writing, storytelling, personal opinions, conversations, and speeches. They help you sound more confident, natural, and emotionally connected. However, idioms should be used carefully in a very formal writing, like legal documents or academic research, where clarity matters more than the style. In everyday English, though, idioms are everywhere. Movies, podcasts, interviews, meetings, and even exams like self-help, IELTS, and OET speaking. So let me ask you one question. Why does English even need these type of idioms? What is the real purpose? Let me tell you. Idioms make language human. They help express emotions, exaggerate your feelings, soften criticism, add humor, and make communication memorable. If English had no idioms, it would sound robotic, dry, and emotionally flat. Okay? So let's talk about the different types of idioms because, yes, idioms are not random, they fall into different patterns. First, we have idioms related to emotions and feelings. So these idioms express happiness, anger, fear, stress, or excitement in a very natural way. For example, "I was on cloud nine when I got a job offer" means extreme happiness. Another example is "he was feeling under the weather," which means he was not feeling well emotional or physically. Next, we have idioms related to work, effort, or success. So these idioms are very common in professional and exam context. For example, when you say like, "She really pulled out all the stops for this presentation," that means she put in maximum effort. Another example is, "After years of struggle, his hard work finally paid off," which means the effort brought good results. So then we have idioms related to communication and behavior. These idioms describe how people speak or act in certain situations. For example, when we say "stop beating around the bush" and say what you means stop avoiding the main point. Okay? Another example is, He left the cat out of the bag during the meeting, which means he revealed something unintentionally. Okay. So, next one is idioms related to problems and difficult situations. So, these idioms help describe the stress, trouble, or pressure. For example, if we say, like, they were in hot water after missing the deadline, means they were in trouble. Another example is we are all in the same boat right now, which means everyone is facing the same problem. Finally, we have idioms related to time and decision making too. Yes, so these idioms describe urgency, delay, or choices because it related to the time and decision making. Examples are at the last minute she changed her mind. That means very late, okay? Another example is it's time to bite the bullet, which means to face a difficult situation bravely. Now let's move to the most important part, practice, because understanding without practice does nothing. So I'm going to give you 10 practice questions and I want you to pause the video and think before listening to the answers. Okay? So the first one is what does break the ice mean in a conversation? So you can just think or recall where did someone have used it or you might have used it or without knowing the proper meaning of idioms you can just come up with an answer. And the second one is if someone says I'm at my wit's end, how are they feeling? What does hit the nail on the head mean? If a task is up in the air, what does that say about the situation? What does once in a blue moon describe? If someone calls it a day, what are they doing? What does the ball is in your court mean? If someone is walking on thin ice, what kind of situation are they in? What does go the extra mile mean? If plans fall through, what happened? Okay, see, these are some of the practice questions for the idioms. And let me break the answer. So, for the first one, break the ice means to make people feel comfortable in a new or awkward situation, especially at the beginning of a conversation. So, usually, when we start up with a new meeting or a new training, we'll be having icebreaker activity. So, break the ice, yes. And the next one is at my wit's end means feeling extremely frustrated or stressed, usually because nothing seems to be working anymore. It shows emotional exhaustion. And the third one, hit the nail on the head, means to say or do something that is exactly right. So it's commonly used when someone correctly identifies a problem or solution. Okay. And the fourth one, once Okay, this one is the fourth one, right? Up in the air means the situation is uncertain or undecided. Nothing is confirmed yet. And for the fifth one, once in a blue moon means something that happens very rarely. It emphasizes infrequency, not at a frequent or regular intervals. And the sixth one calls it a day. That means to stop working or end an activity for the day. It's often used in professional settings, okay? And for the seventh one, the ball is in your court means it is now your responsibility to take action or make a decision. The control has shifted to you. And walking on thin ice, this means in a risky or sensitive situation where one mistake can cause serious trouble. It suggests danger or caution. And the ninth one, go the extra mile, means you can put in additional effort beyond what is expected. It shows dedication and commitment. And fall through, that means that a plan did not happen as expected. So it usually refers to cancellation or failure. So let's see some of the don'ts. First, don't overuse idioms in one response or paragraph. Using too many idioms at once makes your English sound unnatural and dramatic. Okay? And the second, don't translate idioms directly from your mother tongue into English. This is a very common mistake. Idioms are cultural, and what works in one language often sounds strange or meaningless in English. And third, don't use idioms in very formal or technical writing, because legal documents, academic essays, reports, and official emails usually require clear and direct language. That time when you are using idioms, then that can make your message unclear or unprofessional. Okay, so that's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more English tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.